Okay, very few relief pitchers are actually chosen for the All-Star game, and but that was my greatest year. Seemed like from spring training onward, I had added a new pitch. I had added like a split-fingered fastball, they call it today, uh, but we call it a fart ball, and in those days, and so it was an off-speed pitch that gave me my strikeout pitch, and I already had good speed and control and a good curveball, and so that uh, added to what I was able to do. Plus, I had a high kick, and I had a complicated motion, but my timing was so good it was just effortless almost. It was just a natural, real natural motion, and so easy for me to throw, it seems like. And all I had to do is put more energy to it, and I'd go faster. So there was no breakup in rhythm or anything like that. So it was, I never experienced anything quite like that in my whole career. And so from spring training onward, I was just, everything was just great. I was just blowing hitters away. And in relief, I had 12 wins and 2 losses, but even those 2 losses, they were scratch hits, and they could have been wins. And so and I had 26 saves. So I had 12 wins, 26 saves, and 2 losses in relief, and 1.29 ERA in relief. I did start 2 games, and I gave up 12 runs, and so that made my ERA, higher. But in relief, I was just almost untouchable, and so I was in the All-Star game. That year, they had 2 All-Star games, one in Kansas City and the other in New York. And so I pitched the one in New York. I pitched 1 inning, and yeah, that was neat to have that kind of publicity. And I guess the greatest compliment I ever received was the Pirates won the pennant in 1960, and they won the World Series against the Yankees in 1960. And Elroy Face was a top relief pitcher in 1960, and he saved 3 games in the World Series. But the writers were saying, but what if the Yankees had to face me, So, I mean, this guy won 3 games in the World Series, and they're still talking about me, And so I thought that was a great compliment. I guess at that time, I was kind of a pioneer of relief pitching, along with Elroy Face and White Wilhelm and some others. And so the Sporting News wanted the pitchers to receive recognition, the relief pitchers to receive recognition, and so they came up with a Fireman Award. And I did lead the league in wins and saves in 1959, but that was before they had the Fireman Award. And 1960 was the first year that actually they had the Fireman Award for achievement in relief pitching, and to recognize the top relief pitcher in the National League and the American League. And of course, from then on, they had the Fireman Award every year, and I won it in 1963 as well. So that was the first year, and it gave recognition. And of course, today, you're not going to do very well in baseball without a good relief pitching, and today it's much more specialized. Your top relief pitcher will pitch maybe 1 inning is all, and then you have even like the Rangers, and I'm a Ranger fan, but and the Rangers will have a setup man, and they'll have a man they bring in the 7th inning, another man they bring in the 8th inning, and then the 9th inning. and so it's interesting in how specialized it's become. And they have someone to pitch just to left-handed hitters and to right-handed hitters. And so the thing about my career, I was right-handed, and I threw straight overhand when I was converted to a relief pitcher. But I could get left-handers out better than right-handers. And so being right-handed and getting left-handers out better than right-handers really gave you a tremendous advantage, because even the managers didn't know that when I was playing. They kept putting left-handed pinch hitters against me all the time, and I was getting them out better than right-handers. And so today they have, so many stats that they would pick that up, and they would know exactly what you do against left-handers and right-handers and all of that. But in my day, that was just a deep secret, that I knew. Even some of my managers didn't know that fact, but I knew it, and so it helped me out a lot, because these managers were playing right into my hands, and putting up pinch hitters that I could get out easier than if they had used a right-hander against me. So that helped me out a lot. Relief pitching is really advanced over the years, and it's become much more specialized today than it was when I was playing. And going up ahead to the Yankee years, we had my last year with the Yankees. We had Sparky Lyle to be used at the end as a real stopper, and they would use me all over the place. And I came in one game in the first inning, relieved Fitz Peterson, and went 13 innings in relief. And that year I pitched 5 innings, 6 innings, a number of times in relief. So that it was just kind of wild. I had mentioned before that I had 4 major comebacks. And one major comeback was after I had led the league in 1959, 1960. And then like 61 and 62 with the Cardinals, it's like I forgot how to pitch, because I had developed an entirely different style of pitching, straight overhand, and it was, the timing and everything was complicated, but it was natural. For 2 years, it was just a natural thing, and it's like I woke up one morning and I'm not doing something right, and now I have to figure out what I'm doing wrong. And I went through 2 years in the prime of my pitching career that I was messed up mechanically with my mechanics and so forth, and went from an ERA like in relief of 1.29 in 1960 to 4 times that, and that was a hard period for me as well as the Cardinals. I don't blame them for trading me, but they traded me to the Chicago Cubs, and I think that was in the wintertime of 1962, in like December, that the trade was announced that I would go to the Cubs. And I even had sports writers to call me up and ask me if I'm going to retire, because to go from the Cardinals to the Cubs, they felt like that was really a downer, But I had no intention of retiring. I knew I was physically sound, and everything is okay that way. It was just, I was just messed up, just like a golfer gets messed up or something with his timing and everything. And although pitching looks like it's simple, it's not really simple at all. And a lot of it you do that's very natural and so forth. But when you make a structural change like I made, a change in your entire delivery, then that transition itself is kind of really difficult to do. But then to stay in that groove that you have developed, this new delivery and everything, I found to be more challenging. And so that's what I was not able to do. And so it was disappointing to me and to the Cardinals as well, because they had so depended upon me. They had such confidence in me. I was blowing everybody away in 1960, and considered probably the best year of any relief pitcher in history in 1960. So, and then to be depended upon in a bullpen like that, and then to have all these problems. And as I look back, I think the Cardinals would have been better off to recognize I had problems, because I told them I was having problems, and to ease the pressure off of me and put me in some long situations so I could work myself out that way more naturally. But no, it's just pressure, pressure, pressure. It was bad for the Cardinals as well as for me, and it cost Sully Hemus, my manager, his job. For one thing, that wasn't the only thing that cost him his job, but that was part of it. And so anyway, that kind of leads us up to when I went to the Cubs, and all at once, bang, everything came back, and I led the league again. And like I say, my career was of some ups and downs. You know, I was either on top of the world or I was having struggles. And the Cubs were a good time for me. When I played for the lowly Cubs, and so it was quite interesting to play in Wrigley Field and all-day games, and it's better for your family and everything, and so it was just a nice thing. But we just didn't have great ball clubs with the Cubs, and so they couldn't compete on the same level as the Cardinals and or the Dodgers or the Giants.